Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, Volkswagen AG is in the news because the U.S. government has laid the smackdown in form of a fine on top of the company for the whole diesel scandal situation. Volkswagen AG will have to pay back the fine of $10.2 billion. Not to mention, every one of the folks that actually own one of those scandal vehicles could expect a check from Volkswagen in the sum, depending on how old the vehicle is or what kind of condition it is in, from around $1,000 all the way up to $7,000 US dollars. Volkswagen also has to put together a program to offset the pollution that they've created and will create with these diesel machines. That thing hasn't been yet set in stone as far as what that plan could very well be. This is going to be a long, tough year of 2016, and it'll probably take well into 2017 before they get through all the lawsuits and the other fines that could be coming Volkswagen's way. We'll keep you in tune if we hear more. Next up on the list, well, if you were like me watching the live stream of the Goodwood Festival of Speed, got a nice little surprise Saturday when the brand new Porsche Panamera unexpectedly went firing up the hill at the hands of an actor, movie, screen, television, not to mention Le Mans winning racer Patrick Dempsey was at the wheel. There's a nice little video Porsche put together. I've got it up on the Facebook page. Mr. Dempsey talking about there's only 2 of these cars on the planet. Now, we don't have any concrete information as Porsche has yet to actually release official information on this machine, especially around the power plant situation, because Mr. Dempsey talked about a turbocharged. He also talked about a V8. So there's supposedly some brand new power plants that are in the works for these machines. I have to say, I'm not showing a picture of the front of it because it looks a lot like the old Panamera. The rear end looks a lot more sleek. I think this vehicle looked excellent going up the hill at Goodwood. So pretty excited about this machine. Hopefully we'll get to hear more about it very soon, possibly coming up the Paris Motor Show. Another machine to make its debut at the Goodwood Festival of Speed is the brand new Mercedes-Benz Track Day Star. This is the brand new AMG GTR. This vehicle gets a ton of extra work over the standard AMG S, including a almost 2-inch wider track front and rear, massive 20-inch lightweight wheels. They're just filled up with calipers and rotors, as this thing's got a massively brand new braking package. A lot of aero tweaks have been done to this machine, front and rear, and that 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 now makes 577 brake horsepower and 516 pounds-feet of torque. All that is slipped through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. 0 to 60 comes in just 3.5 seconds with a top speed of 198 miles an hour. Obviously, you can see a massive rear wing, fixed rear wing, and not to mention a brand new rear diffuser underneath this machine. If you ever get a chance to hear this thing growl too, what an aggressive looking and aggressive sounding machine. Pretty cool to get to see it run up the Goodwood Hill. No pricing or availability have been released as of yet, but another YouTuber, Shami150, claims he's got his order in for this vehicle, and it's going to be coming sometime next year, but he didn't say how much he was forking down to pay for that machine. Next up on the list, McLaren showing off this too at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. The brand new McLaren P1 LM. Think of this as a P1 GTR race car for the road. Now, McLaren apparently was only going to build 5 of these. Only 6 of these are actually in existence, at least as of now, because McLaren's going to keep the one that was actually running up the Goodwood Hill in the hands of Swedish-born race car driver Kenny Brack, who did an absolutely masterful job. He was running the wheels off this thing the second quickest time up the hill in the speed runs that happened the day of the taping, the last day of the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Now, he was narrowly beat out, in actually a couple of seconds he was beat out, by Ollie Clark with his Subaru WRX STI called the Gobstopper 2. That thing has massive amounts of horsepower, huge aero grip. It's a real hill climb car. Mr. Clark and his brother have developed this car over the past several years. They actually won the event last year at Goodwood as well. The real surprising one was the 3rd place runner, which was American-born Mike Skinner in his Craftsman truck Toyota, who has actually crashed that truck at the Goodwood Hill last year, but this year made one of the most spirited, most committed run I've seen up the Goodwood Hill in some time, because that truck was way out of control around a lot of the corners, finishing just off the marks of these two really full-blown race cars. Actually, this truck's a full-blown race car, but I mean, boy, the big difference between those two four-wheel drive vehicles and this two-wheel drive car was a huge difference, and pretty doggone big. We haven't heard pricing or availability for the P1 LM. I'm assuming it's going to be bloody expensive, especially for the sheer fact that they're only going to build 5 of these for the world, so we'll keep you in tune if we hear any more. Another thing to come out of the old Goodwood Festival of Speed revolves around this young man, the film star from, well, you may think of him as Bill and Ted, or maybe even the Matrix films, Keanu Reeves. Mr. Reeves, who's a massive petrolhead, big car guy, big motorcycle guy. In fact, rode motorcycles up the Goodwood Hill all over the weekend. In fact, including one that he's helped design. Well, he took a little ride at the rally car stage in a Ford Focus rally car and jumped out of it and got prompted by the driver of that machine to release a little bit of interesting tidbit of information. Mr. Reeves here apparently is developing a rally car movie. I can't think of a rally car movie that's ever been in existence before. He talked about it. They got the script done, that they wanted to take place in China, but yet that hasn't been officially done as of yet. He's still looking for funding and looking for backers and looking for a studio nonetheless to actually make this particular film. I have to say I was super excited to hear this kind of news, so we'll definitely keep you in tune. Mr. Reeves is heading back from the Goodwood Festival of Speed, probably as we speak, or at least in the next several days. Says he wants to get on some rally school stuff to actually get his skills up for driving one of those machines, so cannot wait to hear more about this brand new car movie that could be coming very soon. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.